And you know what? It is about that time when we aspire to inspire. It's Transformational Thursday. And in studio, all right, we have a distinguished gentleman. I'm an Amnagani abstract.
Yeah.
You know what? And this is a gentleman who basically, when it comes to music production in Kenya, you know, he took it from level 1 to level 5. Started off as a musician and first briefly with the group Ebony Affair. Do you remember that one, my friend?
Not really. You
don't remember Ebony Affair? It was because it was wakati wa pacifier.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then he formed the group Heart. Yeah, but Heart you've heard of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in 1993. No, let's just say you are 8 years old. 93 has been a common year for you today. All right? Wow.
So.
All right, now you know what? Heart basically went to separate ways in 95. And then our guest, my brother, he basically joined that studio that, like we said, this is the studio that came to solidify what we know is the modern sound of Kenyan music. We talk about Six Sound Studios. It was at Ramco Court. Oh, yes. Now, that was the Nyari of the time, my friend. Anybody was living in Ramco Court. Okay? That was the spot. Okay, our guest today was a studio, and then in 1998, all right, he left Sing Sound Studios and formed Audio Vault Studios. Okay, and it was renamed Blue Zebra in 2002. Our guest is credited for producing compilation albums. There were 2 of them. The first one was Kenyan, the first chapter. Please tell me of that album, my brother. Oh my God, get out. And then the second one was Kenyan, the second chapter. And when this is the roll call, my friend, abstract, okay? The 2 albums featured Heartstone, Kalamashaka, Gidi Gidi Maji Maji, Necessary Noise, Into, Jimmy Gado, Maina Kageni, Peter Dera, and Darling P, and of course, Ugandan musician Kawesa. Which one do you not know there, son?
Apo, I can say Into.
Okay. But you know Atemi.
Everyone, even Kawesa.
No. Yes. Atemi, okay? She was one half of Into.
Ah.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. And then the rest, you know what?
You learn something new every day.
You know Darling P?
Yeah.
Okay. You know Kawesa?
Yeah.
How do you know Kawesa?
Through Kida Styles.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, our guest also was the founder of the Kisima Awards. And this was the premier annual music awards that was basically held here locally. And he was given and this is when you know he's a man with morals and principles. He was given the producer. Remember, he's a founder. And he was given the Producer of the Year award in 2004. Okay. And he said he rejected it, citing, listen, I'm the organizer of the damn thing. What are you guys doing? So the next year, he resigned from its organizing committee. All right.
Okay.
He has worked with the best of the best, most of the popular musicians in Kenya, the late Poxy Precious, Susanna Will, the later Chenga Bura, Abby, and Dij, amongst others. He has most recently produced for up-and-coming new artists such as Edie Hamed. You know Edie?
No.
Of course you don't. With the hit song Usijali, and Pace Kenya with his song Napata. Okay. In studio, put your hands together. Make some noise for the one and only, highly anticipated TEDD JOSIAH. Jagabab.
Is that me?
That's you, brother.
Sounds like the neighbor.
Listen, welcome, man. You know, because this is Transformational Thursday, Teddy.
Yeah.
And what we do is every Thursday, because it's all about aspiring to inspire.
Yeah.
We know we're going through a global crisis. Times are hard, not here, everywhere. Mm-hmm. And we've got people who are like, they look up to pathfinders. Leaders like yourself, right?
Yeah.
Just to basically, you've put in the grit, you've put in the work. And you know what? Kesho pia nisi. Kesho pia nisiku. It's going to be a better day.
Nisiku.
And life's a journey.
I don't think, bro, but I don't think we're going through hell.
Yes.
We're not going through hell.
Right.
We're going through a shift.
I like that.
If you're going through a shift, everything is going to be uncomfortable.
That's right.
You know, how do I put it? If you got a flat tire,
yes,
get out the car.
Come on.
And get another tire on the car.
Come on.
Stop driving the car.
Come on.
We are going through a shift. It is a global shift.
Right.
It's a spiritual shift.
I like that.
It's a shift of mindset. And people it's painful because they're so stuck in it used to work this way.
Right.
Why isn't it working anymore?
Right.
It's not working anymore because it's a new day.
That's right.
It's a new dawn.
Was.
Open up your eyes and be flexible.
Right.
Radio never used to have visuals. Radio now has visuals. Why? Because if you become a dinosaur, you die.
Exactly.
You become extinct.
Yes.
You must evolve or die.
Evolve or die.
We are going through the cusp of an evolution. Humanity, all humanity. Mindset must change, bro. That's the problem.
Muskia Kevin, evolve or die. And you know what? Don't get comfortable. Because it's all about never getting comfortable. Spice. Well, it's all about shifting.
Yeah.
So listen, Ted, let's go back in time. And I want to start with Ebony Affair.
Yeah.
And I remember, because clearly this is the 90s, and we're like, wow, this sound is new. Because there was there was the best of that particular time. There's Ebony Affair, there's you guys, and then Kina
Jimmy
Gado, Kina Jimmy, and then Kina Suzanne Jam Riambo.
Yes.
Do you know that song?
That I know.
Oh, that you know.
Yes.
Exactly. So for the uninitiated, the Kevins of this world, who was an Ebony Affair, and what was the? Because I know the story.
Ebony Affair was one guy who had gotten signed by a UK record label when he was still in Manchester, and then decided, washamini ede nyumbani. Maina Kageni and me. And Maina Kageni is one of the most prolific singer-songwriters in this country.
And very few people know that.
Very few people.
Yes.
So one day, I was chilling with Pinya, and Pinya says, "Oh, by the way, this guy is called Maina. Maina can really sing." And we're just chilling in the studio, and Maina starts singing, and I'm like, "Allah." So Maina says, "I don't want to do it alone." And I'm a producer at the time. But I'm like, okay, I'll join the band with you, but I don't really want to do that. So Ebony Affair did like about 2 singles. We released one. We thought we were superstars and celebrities. Haikuhit hata kwa studio. Sinoma. Life goes on.
And then you kind of did like a shift in terms of music wise, not in terms of production, bruv. I'll talk about in terms of the group, because then that's when it's the Prito Deras and yourself. Then came Heart.
Heart was a gospel group. And Heart was 4 of us. The late Sally, Esther, Pete, and myself. And the whole idea was to show young people that, you know what, you can be hip, you can be swanky, you can be funky, you can clap your hands, you can rap in church, you can sing in church, you can dance in church, and you can, I used to have dreadlocks at the time, you can, have all these things and still love God.
Come on.
You don't have to go shave your hair and look all solemn and everything. Even pastors want to look cool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Fast forward to 2023, I think we've gone overboard, bro.
Right.
The gospel industry took the brief and ran with it. That a bit too much.
Right.
But that's what we wanted to do, was to show young people that, look, man, kwenda church si kwenda kusulubiwa na Yesu.
Okay.
You don't have to look like you're being nailed on the cross. You should rejoice.
Right.
After all, see, the guy died for your sins.
There we go.
So rejoice and make a joyful sound.
Yes.
Don't look all
Right.
Buddha, pick up my coffee, Pia.
So let me ask you, brother. Now, just quarter century later.
Yeah.
What are your, then you see these what are they? Name a gospel artist.
Right now, the Mr. Seeds and this other guy.
Even if it's a Chile.
Massive Masikas.
Right, yeah, but there's some, I'm talking about the more controversial ones, man.
The ones that moved the Kinodadi with Willie Pauls and the Bahatis.
That's one I wanted you to mention, Bahati, because it's your generation, my friend. So that should be top of the list. Ted, when you see some of the things, because I watch them, I don't listen to them, but I watch them and the things they do on social media. The other day I saw him sitting on a crapper. Literally a toilet. Okay. And he posted this. And then the likes and the shares, I'm like, dang. clearly there's money involved. But now, what are your thoughts? Because, like I said, you're a straight and narrow kind of guy. When you guys were doing it, it was about the word. Now the word is relationship manager bank. What are your thoughts in that basically seismic shift, Bob?
Bro, religion is a very personal thing. Let me start that way. So it's very hard to judge if a person has tattoos if they love God.
Come on.
Or the Almighty.
That's good. Wow.
You know, I'm not going to judge.
Yeah.
If they're sitting on a crapper, everybody pardon my...
Yes.
Everybody craps.
Yes.
So I don't know. But there's one thing that I will say that's very clear in my mind. The word of God says, humble yourself in the sight of the Lord and he will lift you up. If you're proud, unajigamba, unajisikia wewe ndio best, unaonyesha vile uko na hii, how are you humbling yourself in God's sight?
Come on.
And how is he lifting you up? Is there another force that's lifting you up and we don't know of? Or is God lifting you up with that pride? Because I've never seen a proud man be lifted up by God.
Say amen.
Amen to that.
You know? So that's what worries me.
Sharp.
Not the actions that they do, but you know, when they say you will know them by their fruit.
Right.
Come on, man. Everybody's a human being. Everybody messes up. Everybody goes through a life journey that's difficult. Everybody has their own personal spiritual introspection and a journey that they must go through by themselves. I mean, you and I have known each other for over 30 years.
Come on, yes, bro.
I'm sure if we sat down, there are things you've gone through that are so dark that you don't want to share with other people. That but you'd be like, yo, Ted, you know me from way back. So, dude, I've been going through this. And I'm not going to judge you.
Salute.
Do you understand?
Salute.
Yeah?
Salute.
I'm just going to be like, brother, I'm there for you.
Bas.
So all these gospel musicians, be they controversial, not controversial, the one thing that they're doing is they're bringing attention to the word of God. And bringing attention to the word of God is very, very important. It's very, very important because that's nobody else is bringing attention to the word of God.
Yes.
And when you see gospel musicians, bro, let me put it this way, because I have to put that out here. The Levites were the musicians of their time, and the Levites were a community of musicians. And when the walls of Jericho needed to be brought down, it's the Levites who are told, go and play your trumpets, make that sound until those walls are brought down. Now, who are the Levites of our generation now? I won't answer that question, but I will tell you what their responsibility is. It's to bring down those walls, those spiritual walls that we have inside us. It's to bring down those political wars and those tribal wars and all those walls that we have inside us that we hide from. And when they make those sounds, they bring down those walls. And once they bring down those walls, we can talk, we can smile, we can laugh, we can share, we can love. That's the most important thing, man.
That's deep.
That's profound.
Yeah.
And listen, I'd planned to go this way, but then let's say it.
No, you can go wherever you want to go, bro.
So listen, bro.
Yeah.
And you know, you've, like you said, you've always been a very centered guy. Yeah. And you know, he was the core. Yeah. Even on the Banjuka, because clearly, I mean, super producer, he'd be in the hang. But the Ted you see here, that's the Ted that was then, you know, just cool, calm, collected.
Okay.
Your darkest days. But, you know, obviously, you've got the faith. But now, every Sunday, you seem like one of those, do you still go to church every Sunday, bro?
Bro, I don't go to church. I don't go to church. Like I said, religion is a very personal thing. It's a very personal. Going to church doesn't make me
religious.
Religious.
Yes.
Going to church just makes me go and sit and be seen.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
So millennial
just obligated bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maze oni chali wa church. Okay. Kumbe ni fisi.
I love this steady. All right, so that is hot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we are just transitioning. Then this is the stage that I'm like, man. The States, okay? Late 80s, let's go to the early 90s. You had Flight Time, okay? You had LaFace. You had then for, obviously, so that for you, by the way, Kevin, then you had your Death Rows and you had your Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, yes.
Okay? That was there over the water. here, before you had the Negroes of Ogopa, then we had super producer Ted Josiah. Like I said, this is when in humble opinion, early 90s, this is when Kenyan music became its own. Okay? And this is when now, because these stages, when you look at the names here, all right, they also went on the regional, if not international platforms.
Yes.
I remember there's a time like those Kalamashaka, these guys, Ted, I mean, you guys took them on tour, I think, UK State Tour. What people are doing now?
Yeah.
Back then, it's like for a 3-month tour, something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What inspired, from gospel to, it's called secular.
Secular, yes.
And then it was such an instantaneous, because I can't see Jimmy Jam doing, who's that guy who's as short as you? Kirk Franklin.
Hey, see, I'm sorry.
And you know, the way he do an Alexander O'Neill hit.
Yeah.
And then immediately transition to Kirk Franklin, to me, it's a no. And that is one of the things that we appreciate about you. But what was that thinking and what was that shift that basically, you know what, as much as you said, it's very personal religion, but you then you run away with it. What was that all about, bro?
It wasn't me. People see me, but it wasn't me. Let me tell you something. I am but an instrument in the hands of the Creator. And that instrument is used by the Creator to create things. I am not the Creator.
Sure.
What happened was this, and I'll tell you something that very few people know. I was actually with the Heart at the time, and we were in a prayer meeting, and a deep prayer meeting, and then the pastor, he's called Pastor Nee, I think now he's Reverend Nee, says, Ted, I see a vision, and I see you having to become the Quincy Jones of Africa.
Amen.
I see God telling you to go and take the young people and put your foot in the door and allow them to go through the door, because this door has been shut so hard. They have no hope. They've got no future. They've got everything they're doing with their gifts and talents is the door is being slammed. So he's calling you to open up this door and allow as many young people through.
Come on.
So dude, I heeded the call.
Yes.
Literally, that's all I did.
Yes.
I heeded the call. I was like, okay, Mungu amesema, so wacha mimi niende nifanye.
Right.
Unaelewa?
Yes.
Because if I didn't do that, I would have been swallowed by a whale.
But
Nice.
The option was dire.
and you know, Kevin, when we talk about Ted, because you know, and like we said, he's mentioned, because clearly you didn't know that Ebony Affair was him and Minor Kageni. All right, we all know who Minor Kageni is.
Yes.
And then obviously we've got now Ted goes into the studio and he starts this journey. Kenyan, the first chapter. I remember I had the pleasure of we used to work a lot together.
Yeah.
And you know, when you mentioned some of the names here, Kevin, we got there are 2 albums there, right? What are some of the names there? You know, you've got Heartstone, you've got Kalamashaka, Giddy Giddy, Maji Maji, Necessary Noise into Jimmy was known then because there was KTN, and then he also had a band.
Yeah, Jimmy had a band, and he had that song. I'm in no hurry.
That one.
Won't you take your time?
Peter Dera,
yeah.
who of course you were with in Heart, and then Darling P and Kawesa. Back then, we're like, okay, everyone knows who TJ is, but you came out with these guys out of the box. For that journey, or somebody who wants to get 2 questions, bro. There's somebody who wants to get in production. And I read the other day, not the other day, that R. Kelly cannot, for the life of, first of all, he's illiterate.
Oh, wow.
And then he hears, you know, he can't write music, but then he was a brilliant producer. Somebody's there is like, okay, Ted is legend. Did you go to that music? Did you go to music school? Yani, can you read and write the damn thing?
I can read chords, but I can't read classical music. Those white and boy, white and black and boy jumping up the fence. Those guys. Hizo mi sijui Clef, sijui nini.
Those ones.
Clef ni DJ, bro.
I like that.
I don't read music in that way. I feel music.
I love that.
You know, as a creative, because I'm more than a producer, I'm a creative. As a creative, you use different tools to express yourself.
Sharp.
You understand?
Sharp.
Every artist, you'll give him a guitar, he'll start mucking about and come up with something. You'll give him a pen and paper and he'll muck about and come up with something. You give him a microphone and muck about and come, because they're in the constant stage of wanting to create using various mediums.
Come on.
And those mediums are audio, visual, physical, in representation. What the gift I feel I had, which a lot of music producers need to understand, is within 15 seconds I could tell if a person was going to do or not.
There's something.
And I remember Nikki walking into the studio, Sheila Mwanyika, and her story, I think she's written it down. She almost cried because I told her to sing, and in 15 seconds I said stop, and she was like, okay, so did I get through? Did I not? I hadn't even stopped. Hata sija warm up.
That's true.
And I was like, I've heard all I need. You can do it. Boom. I know exactly what I need to do with you. End of story. Next, Darling P was rejected at F2 talent search, and I was there at the F2 talent search back in December of 95.
Right.
And
Spice.
And I'm like, these guys are booing this guy.
Wow.
He's the biggest out of all of them.
Yeah.
This is the money maker.
Yes.
This is the money.
Yes.
It's not even Kalamashaka.
No.
It's this guy.
Allah.
It's not even Majimaji, Gidi Majimaji, because all of them were going head to head.
Right.
He was like number one.
Oh.
Yes, they were all going head to head. That's why I met Gidi, Maji, Kalamashaka, all of those guys.
Darling P.
Yes.
And
guys asked me, so why did you choose Darling P? This guy doesn't have it, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not urban.
Come on.
He's national. So the guy in Ukambani who doesn't know hip hop will still feel at home with Darling P.
Right.
The guy in Nyanza who doesn't know hip hop will still feel at home with Darling P. The guy in Mombasa who doesn't know hip hop, mtu wa mjengo, ula ajui rap, will just embrace Darling P because he's funny and he's doing this funny hip hop thing.
That is so true.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what he actually, pound for pound, if we were to calculate who made more money, he did.
Whoa.
He had more concerts.
And okay. That is so true. And and remember, this is the era where there's Waire and Nazizi was here. Necessary Noise.
Yeah.
All of these cats came through TEDD. And TEDD has just told us that, within 50 seconds, bruv, you could tell whether they had it or not. And, these cats, the Keshakas, which ones, as far as TEDD is concerned, the Intus, the Kawesas, where are they now? He's talking about, that it's a calling. I like those words.
It is, bro.
It is a calling. There was Sync Sound, all right? Then to Blue Zebra. Then came the Kesima Awards, and then looking into the future. What was that future? We're going to get into that next. Clearly, it is Transformational Thursday, and damn. Oh, man. We are in studio with the one and only TEDD JOSIAH, aspiring to inspire. Questions. If you got a question, the number to dial is
0719012600 or Spice FM KE on both Facebook and Twitter.
Now, bro, when we asked you to come, please. And by the way, thank you, by the way. TEDD does not, as like he says, to find he living in the public eye.
I don't go out. I don't go out.
Lovely. It is thank you. It's an honor, brother. We requested songs, and obviously Candy was, we started off the hour just after the news. What memory did that bring back for you, brother?
1986, just finished fourth, and I'm walking down in the South B streets wondering, so what next, man? Because I'm not that smart. I don't think I'm going to go to A-levels from 5-6. So sasa nitafanya. And hanging out with my boys, just being goofballs in the estate, being total and absolute idiots. But also, I would hear the sound and be like, how are they making those sounds, bro? How are they making those sounds, At the time, the sampler had just come in. The Alesis SR16 drum pad had just come in. I didn't know. I could just tell that this isn't live drums. This is like digital drums. It's later on that I went into production that I realized, kumbe ilikuwa ni SR16. Okay, ni hivi, okay. Unajua. But there was no YouTube, there was no nothing, so you couldn't Google what instrument that was, bro. You just heard and enjoyed and said, okay, wow, nitafika huko siku moja. I don't even think there were music videos back in 96.
Right.
Yeah. There was KTN News with the 62 logo going in slow motion. That's about it.
I like that. So that one, you heard the song that Bria took you back there. Now you've got 4, 5 other requests. Bro.
Yeah.
We want to play one of those for you now. Which one is it going to be? There's Prince. Kiss. There's the Prince.
Let's not slow it down yet.
Okay. All right. Tempo, brother. And what song, when you think about Kiss, what are the memories, man? Does it evoke for you, brother?
Prince was on a different level, bro.
That's true.
Prince was just on a different level. You know, I'd be like, who puts a break in the middle of a song?
Come on.
Kiss.
Buzz.
What the hell? You know, I remember listening to that song over and over again. And palikuwa na cassette za Chrome.
Buzz.
Na Max, unajua Maxell cassette?
Yes.
Ile ya Bairo.
Big
Bairo.
Those I got them.
Ukitumia kilometric rewind, lazima utumie big. Wacha nikuchanue. So, man, I used to I started out doing cassettes for people, so I'd copy the cassettes and down the cassettes and stuff like that.
Record, stop.
Unafinya play record.
Yes.
Cassette imetoka majuu, ni Chrome.
Yes.
Una dub alafu nilikuwa nafanya operation surgery.
Yeah.
Unatoa hiyo original kakando. Unaekea mtu different.
Yeah.
So it just reminds me of being young, and I was in my creative element at that time. You know, nothing was impossible.
I love it.
And for teens especially,
it's
so important not to feel cooped up like everything is impossible. You have to feel like nothing is impossible, because at some point you're going to have to latch on to one of those things.
I love it.
Now, if they make life impossible for you, bro,
yes.
If you can't dream, if you can't dare to dream, then what are you going to be?
Oh, man. He's in the studio.
Spice.
And our guest from Transformational Thursday wanted, first time I heard this song is like, man, who puts a pause in the middle of a song? And man, he basically got his music inspiration when you talk about music. There it was in 1986, just finished fourth form, and then walking on the streets of South B, and it's like, man, he had Cameo, and it's like, music is definitely a direction to go. The rest, as they say, is his story. In studio today for this Transformational Thursday, where we aspire to inspire, it is the internationally acclaimed, the one and only TEDD JOSIAH in the studio. I remember Ted goes back to Ebony Affair with Maina Kageni. That one I know you didn't know, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. That is in the late in early 90s, and then the group Heart with the Peter Deras of this world. Then obviously the group disbanded, and Ted joined Sing Sound, and then the legend as the producer, literally from gospel to secular. That secular legend began because in 1999, Ted left Sig Sound Studios and formed Audio Vault Studios, and they later renamed it. That was the one in Lenana Road, bro. Yeah,
Lenana. You used to come there a lot.
A lot. In 2002, and this is where you, as if you're a music lover, before in these days we have Kidanani. What are they called? Otile Black.
Yeah.
Right? But you know what now? Those days, these were the guys who were the pathfinders. There was Kenya, the first chapter, Kenya, the second chapter. And in those two albums, we had legends, the Heartstones of this world, Kalamashaka, Gidi Gidi Maji Maji, Necessary Noise, In Two. Our very own, I love that. Our very own, I love that phrase. Jimmy Gado, Maina Kageni, Peter Dera, Dali P, and Kawesa. And you know what? Ted says that he could tell if somebody had the talent within 15 seconds. That's how long it takes you usually to fart. But you know, by that time,
I didn't expect that.
And then, Teddy, you said that, honestly, then of all of these cats, the Heartstones, the K-Shakas, Gidi Gidi Maji Maji, Necessary Noise, remember that's Waire and Nazizi, right? Into one half of that is still Atemi Oyungu. She's still performing. She's been here. Obviously, Jimmy, Maina, Peter Dera, Darling P. You said Darling P is the one that when you were at. Did you ever go for those sessions, by the way?
Yeah. When Babu used to DJ.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's Babu?
DJ DJ Babu. He's in Stato right now. He was a resident DJ for F2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and then KD. Then it schooled KD, then KD took over.
You only went when Babu was DJing?
So that was when I was legal age to go there.
There was a guy before him called Dark Child. Dark Child is the guy who did
now I know where my pals
without Dark Child. None of this urban music would exist. It's not me, it's Dark Child.
I love that.
He's the guy who did all the talent searches and everything, and then he tried now to connect the talent searches to the music production to try and get these guys into now recording their own stuff, because when they would go for talent search, they would be like, rapping to Lost Boys or rapping to somebody else, and he was like, Ted Mazay, just come for jam session on in F2. We'll even pay, just come and see the talent and try and use some of this talent. There's so much. And I went to F2 and bro, I was blown away.
But
talent galore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a star search kind of thing.
It was.
Right?
It was.
Yeah, it was actually called star search.
And it was a star search now. It wasn't like a carnival star search where, now you have to pay 100 bob to go in and 200 bob. This was F2. Yes.
What
do you want to lipa blue and idea? So it was affordable and they were coming straight into town off from a 3.
Yeah.
It's in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon. You've got nothing to do. You've told your folks you've gone for a prayer meeting. Sunday after by 5 o'clock you're back home.
Yes.
Yeah. Kumbe a celeb.
But bruv, Kevin, you know what the blue is?
The blue?
Yeah.
No.
So you're just nodding.
20 bob.
Oh, but
when you say with the blue, in my head it was like,
okay. So now, and obviously, for all of these cats, bruv.
Yeah.
And we would have thought, the Kalamashakas, or indeed, what are they called? The Heartstones and the Necessary Noises. These ones would have had, the longest legs. But the ones that comes to top of mind, obviously there we have, who of all the names there, Heartstone, Kalamashaka, Gidi Gidi, Maji Maji, Necessary Noise, in 2. And musically, so I'm going to scratch Jimmy and Maina because they're still there. Peter Dera, Darling P, and Kawesa. Which one to use top of mind immediately, Kevin?
Darling P.
Okay, why?
That song, I forgotten his name.
Mbuf Mbaf.
Yeah, we used to sing to that a lot.
Not Heartstone in the yard.
There was a Darling P fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of that song.
You see, yes. Yeah. But then also, the one that up until today, who do you still play though?
All of them. All of them by there. Giddy Giddy, Obvious, and Boga
Okay,
Ball.
you see, now that's where, because I've needed you to pick one. You can't say you play all of them. Ted is not going to give you back for free. So the one that is still a constant, consistent club banger is Giddy Giddy, Maji Maji.
Yes.
Atoti.
And
okay.
And Boga Ball.
And Boga Ball.
Yes.
Now let's talk about, but for us it's Atoti, because that is now when you're getting up close and personal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So listen, let's talk about that, because that is a song that basically caused a seismic shift in your life, bruv.
It did.
It
did.
Because come that election, and there was that election that basically that was the movement. It was this song, 2002. Okay? And in that particular time, we'll not finish the phrase, but yote yawazekana bila. And then Ted came up with this particular, and the song was already there. But then that was the clarion call for Kenya. How did that come about, boss?
You want the true story or the lie?
True story.
Okay, no, there's a live version and then there's a true story. So let's go to the true story. So we're chilling with Akina Gidi and Maji, and we're thinking to ourselves, we need a banger. We need something that's going to revolutionize the whole music industry. And we're saying, you know what, man? Let's find a catchphrase. And I'm busy trying to find a beat. And I make this rock-ish beat with so much distortion in it. I'm like, yo, this thing, the kick drum is, it's not like an 808 or 909 that's nice and soft. This is like, it's shaking the speakers, and the snare drum is hard, and Giddy's like, that sounds like you can't scare me. I'm unwalkable, and all of a sudden, boom, who can walk? 30 minutes later, we've finished the song.
What?
with a bottle of Kenya cane and Fanta Black Currant.
Yes.
Where? And it's 8:30 in the morning.
Right. Wow.
They said, tupatie tu hiyo demo tuende tufanye rehearsal.
What?
They went straight to the radio station with the demo. So what you hear to date was not mixed.
Are you serious?
That was a rough mix.
Allah?
No word of a lie.
No mastering. Nini.
That song was not mastered. What you hear is a rough mix. It's a rough mix. It's a rough mix. It's straight off the session. Boom. Kenya kini kaonyesha 22 kwa radio. Unangoja nini? Singoma iko. You know. Wow. So and that song was literally like, I'm a young guy, but I'm tired of this oppressive thing, cloud that is on my life, and I need to feel like I'm fearless again.
There we go.
You know.
There we go.
So it wasn't really about young Luo. It was, I know he says, "Can't a young Luo make money anymore?" But it's more like
young man.
Can't a young man make money anymore?
So thank you very. And you see now that's why we've gone full circle, brother.
Yes.
Because that was 202, bro. No, 202.
It was 202.
And then now here we are. It's 2023.
Yeah.
And you play that song in the club now,
And it's crazy.
and it's crazy because the youth
are
going back
feeling
to
the
the
same
same
thing. They're feeling the same thing. We've gone full cycle.
Yes.
Now my fear is this.
Yeah.
I know that the revolution was stopped because of the change in the political atmosphere.
Yeah, boy.
So people sort of calmed down. They were like, okay, at least we can breathe a bit. At least there's a bit of hope. You know, at least, when you give people hope,
Right.
they don't revolt.
Right.
They don't even need money.
Right.
They need hope.
That's right.
That's all.
Yes.
In the States, it's the land of hope,
Yes.
opportunity.
Yes.
Anything is possible.
Yes.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you won't die poor, bro.
Come on.
It just means that every day you have hope.
But that fact that you can have it.
When you remove hope from people,
Yeah.
you are not going to be able to lead people. End of story.
I like that. So speaking of leading people, then, brother, now let's go to the sensitive area.
Yeah.
Then that song,
Yeah.
how did it manage to become the clarion call for the second liberation, brother?
Bro, so I'm chilling in studio. The song is on radio.
Yes,
It's doing its rounds. It's not supposed to be on radio because I didn't give a master.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking, okay, this song has taken off by itself and it's hit number one on all stations. And one day my kuzo calls me and says, hey, can you just come here to, I won't say the hotel, but so I go to the hotel and he says, this is my friend from the UK.
Yes.
He's working on behalf of NAC, Kenya, the political team, and he wants to buy the rights to the song on their behalf.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so how much you got?
Yeah.
Boom. It's the first time I saw $10,000. I shook like a leaf, bro. I kid you not, I shook like a leaf. Still in that carafa.
Yes.
You know,
wow.
$10,000.
Yes.
So I put it in my kajapo like so.
Yes.
And I go and I do, there was a roundabout.
Yes.
GPO. 4 times around that roundabout.
So you're not being followed?
Yeah, with my Toyota Corolla to make sure ain't nobody following me, man. Because
Maybe that is back in the day and you had 1.4.
Bro, so
boss, and that's then. I think now it's like about 5, 6, 7, Mike.
Yeah.
Cash.
And that was the beginning.
Yes.
We got a lot more money.
Exactly. Yes.
The whole team benefited.
Yes.
Huge spice. We didn't know that it was throwing us into the political sphere. And that political trash can, that's all I can call it. That political trash can, once you go in, you're going to come out dirty. And whether you like it or not.
And, because, Ted, you and I are brothers. And I know this story.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to discuss that journey, or is this landmine territory, minefields?
No, bro, me, I'm an open book.
Okay, sharp.
Because somebody's going to learn from my stupidity. So it's better mi niseme nilifanya hii na nilikuwa mjinga usifanye, au sio?
Right.
Yeah.
So there it is. It's 2002. I remember that it was what's this place called? Uhuru Park, ne?
Uhuru Park.
Yes, right. And then even for the swearing in, and man, as guys, I was just sitting there imagining the after party that's gonna happen tonight.
Yeah.
When the sword was being handed over.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, good job, Ted. Godspeed, because this is courtesy of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. How did it change from 2002 then, and then come 2007? And I'm there reading, I'm like, damn, my brother's in shit. My brother's in poop. How did one song do so much in a positive way, and then not to put it badly, then this other one do so much in a negative way that it forced you to basically leave country, but
the systems, the powers that be realized after 2002 that audio visual could be a tool that could be used for you or against you. But they didn't realize how much it could be used against you. Now, what happened was in 2005. It didn't start in 2007. 2005. Me, I'm doing
referendum.
I'm doing my TV shows. I've got VP. It's number one on TV. I've got another TV show called Plus. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
So I've decided, let me go to the UK, buy a few cameras here and there. I've done an advert that had His Excellency currently, the President right now. It had Unye and everybody saying, just say no to this referendum because it ain't rocking and rolling. And me, I've gone to buy my equipment to soup up my show. I come back and the first phone call I get when I land is, we've cancelled all your contracts. I'm like, why? He's like, don't worry, we just cancelled them. What's going on? Then somebody whispers in the corridors, you touched a nerve with these ads that you've been making, bro.
Yes.
How could you put Musalia, and Rao and Ruto and everybody is talking about against government?
Yes.
I'm like, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to. And after that, I went into the cold a bit. So me, I'm in the cold, and I start feeling this rebelliousness of can't a young Luo make money anymore?
Yeah.
And come 2007, I'm like, I'm going to show the powers that be who's the real dog. I'm going to use my audio-visual tools against them. Because really what they've done for me for the past 2 years is made sure that I'm broke. So I'm going to break them down. So any ad they would do, I would do a rebuttal. Better. Bigger. Any ad they would do.
Do you remember that?
I would do a rebuttal. Bigger.
Better.
So we had a whole campaign called Domo.
That was
Usitufunge Domo. Usitufunge Domo.
There we go.
And bro, there was a random day when there was nobody in the office. And things had gone south. And I didn't know things had gone south because I hardly leave. Me, when I'm working, I work from my office and I live in my office.
Exactly.
So I call one of my guys and he's like, me, I'm in SA, bro. Where are you?
Come on.
I said, see, I'm in Nairobi. He says, and I quote, they won't come for your family. They will come for you. If I were you, I would leave. Bro, the way I had a laptop, 15-inch laptop.
Come on.
A pair of jeans, a sweater. JKIA, when is the next flight to London? My money, here it is, I'll wait. 11 o'clock in the morning. And I waited.
What?
I waited at the airport till evening. And just went. To do what? To just go.
Teddy, let me tell you, I remember when you said the Domo campaign, all I remember, and that's guys sat down, because, you and I, boys.
Yeah.
Sat there with friends and were like, wow. Ted JOSIAH has got a big pair of Jabulanis.
That was stupid.
Now for the uninitiated, Kevin, as somebody who might not know, please to say what Jabulanis are, my brother.
Balls.
No, thank you. So yes,
the Mexicans would say cajones.
So there you are, man. No, there's no time. But you got on a flight, and then you land in the UK. They were like, man, that created a gap.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a vacuum, a void that had to be filled. We're going to talk about that journey from UK, then back to Kenya, and then that transition. You said, you know what? That's a wrap. Ted JOSIAH didn't pass on. He quit music. Damn. What are your questions for Ted? Then number to dial 0719012600 or Spice FM KE on both Facebook and Twitter. And, Ted says it is stupidity. What does he mean? We're going to get to that just after the news, which is up front and center next. Ted, before we get into the news, bruv.
Yeah.
Now, there's, like we said, you've just joined us. What we do on Transformational Thursday is that we ask our guests. Remember, it's all about aspiring to inspire. And man, I hope you're getting that inspiration today. We ask the guests to pick their songs that represent that era.
Yeah.
Brother, there's James Ingram and McDonald, ne? Yamo be there. There's Teddy P, man. Love TKO. And obviously, this is, he's a romantic guy. Yeah? So Kasmude, this one was. Okay. There's the deal there, 2 occasions. And then, the cherry on the cream on the cake is LV with Power of Love. Which one do we start the next hour with, brother?
I think 2 occasions, bro.
There we go.
I'll explain why later.
There we go. Ted JOSIAH is in the studio. It is Transformational Thursday. If you want to ask a question one more time, Baba, I'm buying Ted.
The number's dial 0719012600 or Sparse FMKE on both Facebook and Twitter.
Hey. So we're going to start the next hour with the deal and 2 occasions. And you know what? I've got 30 seconds, but Ted.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Mitch. He says, listen, when Ted checks in, remind him it is never fluid off our minds. During his Big Sis's can you read that? His Big Sis Odero's in-laws getting down to the Ohangla tunes back in the day.
Spice
on Transformational Thursday, where we aspire to inspire, and we've got our guest in studio. That was his request. By the way, Ted JOSIAH is in the studio. Whoa. Where you at? Do you know what? And like we say, man, there would be nowhere. Who's this guy who sings with an accent, but he's only started going to state for the other day?
Calligraph.
Those guys would not be going Maju. There'd be no Nyashinsky.
Yeah.
All right? Because setting the platform, that international stage, was Ted and his creative inspirations and the talent that he recognized in 15 seconds.
Definitely.
That passed through his hands, went through his studios. Now, you were telling us, Teddy, what did that song mean to you?
2 occasions. Mazia was in for 2. Mazia was in love with this chick, man. She was like a fine young thing, PYT.
You must.
So I was writing her my love letters huko, in class. Instead of doing triple agriculture, me maandika tu my notes za mapenzi, giving them to her. Kumbe Mazia, she was in love with like a 6th former.
Come on.
I was beaten to the pulp. Never forget. But I still love the song, bro.
Right? And the lyrics, that song, by the way, it's everlasting. 2 occasions. Just day and night.
Did you know that Usher Raymond redid that song?
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful, bro.
Seriously, we've got to get that on
Record Rumble.
On the Record Rumble, right?
He did it. He redid it in '97.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very, very beautiful.
Like a decade later, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that song is from 85.
85, right?
Yeah, 1985.
Baba, when you were being slapped on the ass?
No. Bro, when you were born with you? Let's just get this out the way, bro.
No, just say.
88.
88?
Yeah.
Bro. My God.
Akimungu, the look. I've seen the look. Oh, that is priceless. They should capture that. That should be a meme.
No, but in 88, I had already done... I was in high school, Form 5. We had already done our first art exhibition. There was a guy called Patrick, another guy called Edward Ondachi, Alan Oyugi. Alan Oyugi is now doing wrought iron sculptures, a lot of them, and winning awards.
Yes.
Patrick, if you've ever gone to any Java and seen the paintings, that's Patrick. And I used to whoop his ass in art school.
Whoa.
And then Edward just decided to be a reverend. He was the best artist out of all of us.
Yes,
we had already done our national exhibition, bro. Kenya High had come.
Yes.
Jammu had come.
Yes. Yeah.
I think Nairobi School also had come. And guys were looking at us and saying, these boys from Eastleigh have done an exhibition.
But
how is that possible? National.
Yeah, us guys from the west side. Look at you guys from the east side.
And we were considered the Watus.
Yes, there we go. Yes.
We are the Watus.
Yes.
We're not, we're not special.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's what I was doing in 88, bro.
So honestly, and you were the most talented of all of them.
I wouldn't say so.
But you are brilliant in terms of paintings and all of that stuff.
I'm a creative. I like to paint. I like to sculpt. I like to work with the mud and clay. I like to, music.
In fact, let's talk about that for a second, Teddy. Because you quit music, and obviously reasons you've said, and if you just joined us, there it was. It is 2007, and it's and I remember those campaigns.
Okay.
Domo Domo, wacha. Teddy's there, he's being creative in his studio, and then he calls up a colleague and is like, where you at? That Carrington just tells him, that guy answers and says, me in Nico, South Africa, the land of Holy Klakla. You, where are you? He said, me, I'm still in the studio. And then you advised accordingly. My friend, they would come for your family, they'll come for you.
Biggity bounce.
You took your laptop?
Out.
The jeans, one pair of jeans?
Out. And a grey sweater.
And a grey sweater. JKIA, you're there at 11 a.m., you waited, you paid for the ticket in cash.
Uko wapi, naenda hivi na kam.
Literally.
Bro, to cut the long story short, what happened between 2007 and 2015 was, I think sometimes God removes you out of a place because you're so comfortable.
Yes.
You know this discomfort. What are you calling it? It's a global what? What are you calling it?
Nani?
Global recession.
Yeah, the global recession. Yes.
Global pain.
Yes,
I don't know.
yes.
What, you're receding
recession.
from what, bro? What money
that.
did you have tomorrow?
Yes.
It's not even a rhetorical question.
Yes.
What money did you have tomorrow?
Yes. You don't.
You don't know what money you're going to have tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay? So stop talking about global recession because you don't know if it's going to go up, down, sideways, what?
Come on.
Recession based on what? So I went through that recession, bro.
Yes.
And I hit the UK actually 2007 going to 2008.
Sure.
And it was a global recession for real.
Yes.
But I landed on my feet, thankfully. I found a friend of mine, Prestige, who just decided, yo, bro, I know some true Jamaican boys, they're animators, they might need skills like yours. You're a good editor, video editor, blah, blah, blah. They'll train you. So I went into a whole training camp of audio-visual training, and I realized that everything I thought I knew, I didn't know.
Come on.
And God wanted me out of that place because I was beginning to feel you feeling myself.
Yes.
a bit too much. You know? Niko najisikia sana. Marui. You know? Unbogable. Who can bogle me? You know? I was okay. You know, don't drink from your own Kool-Aid, bro.
I love that.
That was true story. Don't drink from your own Kool-Aid.
I love that.
So I went through a whole year of just training. And the guys who were training me, I'm 38 years old at the time. Yeah. The guys who were training me at 24, 25.
Wow.
And I'm like, first of all, I have to humble myself.
Right.
Because these guys are younger than me, but I need to learn.
Yeah.
So I start to learn animation. I start to learn film production. I start to learn client service. I start to learn, and I'm on the high street.
Sharp.
London, Victoria area, high street.
Yes.
Bro.
Yes.
I'm being trained every day. I'm trying to understand these things. I'm on YouTube. Now there was YouTube and I'm studying and I'm trying to figure all these things out and connect dots. And then I realized that actually music is just a microcosm of what you're supposed to be doing. There's a whole other thing that you need to do. And with all this knowledge, there's a guy who I'd met during that Domo Domo time who had set up a TV station here. I think he had set up K24, an American chap. And he says, hey, dude, where are you? I say, I'm in London. He says, great, perfect, because I have a project for you. I'm setting up a TV station in Nigeria. Can you come down and do a bit of training? Because you have all this knowledge. And I'm like, yeah, great. The thing with that team was they were all white and they were in Nigeria. So they were having a bit of an issue in terms of blending with the guys they're trying to train. So being the only black guy, but also being the guy who has audio-visual knowledge that's cutting edge was very helpful. Right. So I started working and doing projects in Lagos, in Abuja, in Bayelsa, in Cape Town, in London. And they were all audio-visual projects. And music just became something that I just, it just left a bitter taste in my mouth, man.
I like that. A microcosm in the whole facet that is creativity, the bigger picture. So, Ted, is it not fair to say then you just sidelined music? You didn't wake up one morning and say, I've actually quit it.
I could make music now, bro. Would it hit? I don't know. Only God knows. But I could make music now, and I would still feel it in the same way that actually people don't know I have Kenyan the third chapter ready. I've had it ready for 5 years.
CNN breaking news. That's KTN breaking news, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to release it. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
Because the new sphere that musicians are playing in.
Right.
I don't want to show tits and ass in my music videos. I want to show something more prolific, like real love stories. Like this guy falls in love and the love of his life, and then he doesn't have anything. He just has a bicycle, and they're living in their one room. And from living in their one room, they expect this child, and then this guy, his wife dies, and he's left with this little girl, and then he has to raise this little girl, and real life stories, bro.
Now that is a real life story, because when you speak to, madam, and she's like, you know what, if there is a man's man, because that phrase of deadbeat fathers is out there, but it takes a lot to raise a child. All right. Anyone can be a
father,
but not everyone can be a
dad.
And then you talk about that real life love story.
Spice.
Meet a beautiful woman.
Extremely.
Get married, gets pregnant. Then I remember, man, how do you reach out to a brother? Mother passes on, left with a lovely young daughter. Brother, and you always, you share the journey.
Yeah.
You catalog it. And boss, you've got fans out there. We follow you.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
The question that I'm going to ask you, because, if you're not following, because we're not going to recap that, bro. But have you been asked the question, Daddy, what happened to mommy?
She knows. On Friday was it Friday? No. Yeah. Day before yesterday we were talking.
Sharp.
She knows. Jay knows, because I didn't hide it from her. And, she knows that mommy's in heaven.
Right.
And mommy's looking out for her.
Right.
She knows how her mother looks.
Right.
She knows that her mother isn't here.
Yes.
I don't think that she has understood that her mother is never coming back, but her mother died when she was 3 months old, bro. So I don't think she understands if this human is ever going to come back. She just understands that this is the human that birthed me.
Right.
And she looks like this, Right. For me, it's an amazing journey, because I've had to be her mom and her dad. I had no option. And I remember when I started the hashtag of the man mom, people came at me because how can you be a man and be a mom? Bro, when your daughter is suffering from colic, eczema, diarrhea, you got to change the diapers. You're the one waking up in the middle of the night. You're the one feeding her. My sisters are all abroad, bro. My mom is too old to be raising a child. My nanny, the week that my wife died, my nanny's granddad died. So she left. So I'm left there, boom, by myself. What do you have to be? A dad or a mom?
Kevin, let me hear an amen.
Amen to that.
You have to be a mom. So I had to learn how to be a mom. I would teach the nanny what to do with the child. I'm the one who had to take the child for clinic. I'm the one who had to change the formulas. Not all formulas are made the same, bro?
Yeah.
Just be knowing. Not just price point. Forget price point.
Yeah.
There are certain formulas that children will be allergic to, and there are other formulas they won't be allergic to.
Yeah, same to
and
diapers.
how to find out is to go through each and every
everyone.
step, which means that Maharo City is going to follow you. Eczema City is going to follow you.
Yeah.
And people say kids poop smells. It doesn't really smell, actually,
Right.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
God is very forgiving.
Yes. Yeah.
Kids poop doesn't smell. And you're going to have a lot of backaches. You're going to have a lot of depression. And I was going through that in the middle of mourning my wife.
Yeah.
So I'm mourning my wife
Right.
and raising a child.
Right.
Luckily, this child was so smiley and so friendly that she gave me a lease of life, bro. Because I kid you not, people don't know this and I've never said it, but in all honesty, that death, I would have died months later. No word of a lie.
Yeah.
That child kept me going.
Kept you alive.
Constantly. She kept me going because I think I'm the only person she's got. Right. And if I go, bro, it's going to be a hard knock life for this child. She can't be an orphan. So I've got to raise her. And the day that my late wife Regina died, that night she died, she had asked me, so what happens if I go before you? 4 hours later, she was dead. And she wasn't sick when she asked me that question, bro.
What?
So that kept on ringing in my head of, was she trying to prepare me?
Yes.
Was she trying to prepare me for something? You know? Was her spirit trying to prepare me for something? Because I never used to, bro, you've known me how long? I never used to wear glasses.
Exactly.
She insisted, go get, like 3 weeks before she died, go get a pair of glasses. Then one day, najaribu kusoma formula. Manzeni mecheza na hiyo mkebe ya formula, yani ile focus haingii. The focus is not focusing. I put on the glasses and all of a sudden I can read. I broke down. I broke down and started crying like this human knew that I was going to need these things.
Come on.
So she was just transitioning me, preparing me for that journey.
Yeah.
So, real life stories. Real love stories, you know?
So, and, you know, and like, you know, if you follow Ted's journey, you know, and I've asked you this, Kevin, you know, in terms of the love of your life.
Yeah.
You know, there you are, you can be, like, you know, Ted said you was in Form 2. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, that at Form 2, you know, penning that missive, you know, 2 occasions is playing. That was the love of his life then. But now, brother, after going through that, do you think because Regina was the love of your life, would you, it's maybe an unfair question, but you're my brother, possibility of falling in love again?
Bro, the heart wants what the heart wants. And there's no man, there's no woman who wants to live single and die alone. And in as much as it sounds so romantic to raise a girl by yourself, because Hollywood has romanticized it, bro, tuambiane ukweli. Kuna siku unashikwa na nini? Na nini lazima izini. Alafu ikisha nini sasa utanini aje. Sabuni haitoshi, brother. Ila Vaseline haitoshi, tuongeane.
Pamela
Five sisters.
Your vaja haitoshi, brother. No. So
I love that.
To be honest with you, I when the time is right, and I don't know when the time is right, love is there.
Yeah.
Love is always there. Are we ready to embrace love? You know, bro, how far back do we go when we were young and stupid? Were we ready? There's chicks I'd say like, quatch, man. How come you didn't?
Yeah. Oh, we could open, but yes, you're right.
But you tell me, bro, you don't know how like I do.
Yes.
You know, or
yes.
I can also say, I just wasn't ready for that. I messed up a good girl, you know? I messed up, and I have to own to that, because it's not that girls are always messing up. It's also guys are messing up good girls.
That's so true.
And that happens, bro.
Yes.
You know, you're young, you don't know yourself, you get into this relationship. And I always say this, and bro, I've got to say this on the show.
Right.
The road to Damascus.
Yes.
There was a man called Saul.
Yes.
He had a Subaru. A very beautiful Subaru. With horsepower. Ukweli?
Yeah.
Na alikuwa ameikanyaga, brother, ameikanyaga. Anaenda kucollect tax na kuwa Wakristo.
Yeah.
Wasn't that his job?
Yes.
Yeah? He was a tax collector, an accountant with suit and tie. Giorgio Armani, nice in his Subaru, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stepping on the horsepower. And then what happens? Mr. Soul met God. Bam! Accident. Subaru imeoverturn, dem ametupwa nje ya dirisha, sijui nini imefanyika. Kesi. Until he went blind, and that blindness actually is until he realized he didn't know what he was looking at.
Come on.
And then God told him, now your name is Paul, and he's the guy who wrote Corinthians, Acts.
Yes.
You know, love is. You know, what is love?
Yeah.
And the greatest gift is love, and all of those things. Love is patient, love is kind, love is. Where was he writing that from? from Romeo and Juliet or from his accident of meeting God. Now, I say all of that to tell women this.
Yes.
If the man you want to marry has not gone through the road to Damascus, don't marry.
Come on.
Ish.
Because when he goes through that road, he'll be in that Subaru, you will be home, and there will be a different woman in that Subaru. When that Subaru goes turning over, you go to hospital, and you're wondering why you are Mrs. Kinodia in hospital, but you've come to hospital to check on Mr. Kinodia.
Come on.
You understand?
Yeah,
Heart small.
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yes.
What did the man say? If the man you want to marry has not been on the road to Damascus.
Yes.
Finish.
Don't marry the nigga. True.
You know what? We could sit here till midnight.
Yeah.
But time waits for no man or woman. Now, Teddy didn't, like he said, Ted was raising his daughter while mourning. Then, and with that the creative genius that he is, then he started an industry that is thriving. What industry is that? If you're uninitiated, please, by the way, Ted, if one wants to follow you, Baba, you'll tell us about the
socials.
No, I'm talking about as an, but you have one as an individual. I might just
I have one as an individual.
Okay, yes. Share that one now, then the other one next.
My name is Ted Josiah, TEDD JOSIAH at whatever you want to follow me on.
Bas.
Niko hapo.
Bas.
Mpaka TikTok. Ukitaka kuona haga yangu nikitingisha niko TikTok na tingisha haga mbaya.
So listen, and you know what? If you understand quality, and we're talking leather, we're going to get to that next. And this one is, it was a game changer. True or false, Kevin?
Yeah, true.
What is that? We're going to share that with you in a bit. Brother, we still have 2 songs, Baba.
Yeah.
We will talk about love. So, ironically, love is the title of both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Teddy P and there's LV, brother. Which one do we play for you now, first?
Teddy P.
Teddy P. And okay, and it's obviously it's poignant with considering what we've just been talking about.
Never love TKO.
All right, but tell me about the first time you had this Teddy P song, bro.
My mom, when she was young, in the 70s, my name is actually Edmund, not Ted.
Allah!
But then she
Today
went to...
you see, we're learning a lot of things, my friend.
Yeah, then she went to America.
Yeah.
And she went with my dad. And me, I followed later. Bas. When I came, they decided, no, this guy should be called Ted.
Bas.
And when I started listening to the songs that they were listening to, I realized why I was being called Ted. It wasn't good, but Teddy Pendergrass for me is one of the most underrated vocalists. He was bigger than the R. People say he was the R. Kelly of his time. He was way bigger than R. Kelly. Way. I mean, Royal Albert Hall in London, bro. That isn't.
This was small potatoes, man.
R. Kelly never got to the gates. He never even went to watch a concert there. You know what? So you can't compare the two. Teddy Pendergrass was a singer's singer, a musician's musician.
I love that.
You know, very classic, very, very beautiful vocals, very soulful. Sure. I consider him par to par with Marvin Gaye and people like that. I love that kind of music because it comes from deep within. It's not, you can't say that the lyrics are guiding him. It's something else that's guiding that the vocal movement in his voice. And that's why I love that song, man.
I love it. Oh man, it is definitely, this is one for the books, ne?
Yes.
Transformational Thursdays. Spice. Transformational Thursday back. The days, the folks who just moved to Stato, and then he joined them later. But this song is what they were listening to. This artist, by the way, performed at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Place that even Kina R. Kells did not perform. And that's Teddy Pendergrass. Love TKO in studio. Oh man, today it's one for the books, brother. Yeah. It just keeps on. Not that we've had a too bad guest, but I think the needle keeps shifting, right? There we go. And it is the one and only Ted Josiah, man. We've talked about love, we've talked about music, we've talked about life, but we're asking you, what questions do you have? Mitch, by the way, stop talking in code. Yeah? So the numbers to dial, you said, Kevin, huh?
0719012600 or Spice FM KE on both Facebook and Twitter.
All right, our final moments with Ted, by the way. And have you voted for your record rumble? Able vote now because we're going to announce that next, just before we bounce. But Nani, the thing is this. Anthony has got a question. All right. You see there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Anthony Gitonga Watona.
Yeah.
Anthony, you're asking, I have to say that's a good interview. Well, thanks to Ted. Good job. Ask Ted how he feels about today's generation music. Gengetone etc. Ted.
If we're talking about today's generation music, let's be honest and open up the space, because you've not asked about Kenyan music. So I'm gonna do a deep delve.
Good one.
African music after Fela Kuti, after Fadhili Williams, after Fundi Konde, after Miriam Makeba, after Hugh Masekela died.
Come on.
He died. These Fela and me, you can't compete. I can't compete. You know, Fela who could go onto the stage with his 32 wives and his boxer.
Indeed.
And sing his songs.
Yes.
And white people would dance.
Come on.
Like as
that's
if
so true.
They have been they're in a trance,
wow,
bro.
That's so true, yeah.
And that was in the 70s.
Yes.
We could only look up to him.
Yeah.
Now, in Kenya, we had the guy called Kelly Brown.
Yes. My love keeps taking
and
me.
Kelly Brown was doing all right, but he wasn't Fela, bro.
Right.
Fela.
Yeah.
She go say, she go say, Abiledio.
Come on.
Now, when I say that, you can actually hear the drums after, isn't it?
Yes.
What happened? What happened was we got bombarded with disco, we got bombarded with all these other things, and I think people realized that culture is a very important driving force. So us were busy copying the West and having our Sundowners programs and all these things and Kenny Rogers and all these, and we're loving them and we're embracing the West. But West Africa was holding on and holding true.
Come on.
They still had their culture and things, you know. They don't dress like white men.
There we go.
They dress like Nigerians, like West Africans, you know. And they're proud of it. And then people like P Square come, and Two-Face, Idibia, Baba, and they come with their African queens and all that. And they're listening to Wairi at this meantime, by the way, because I went to Lagos and Two-Face said, hey, you got a guy called Wairi, he's killing it. And they're listening and they're like, okay, let's compete with these guys. From the time Two-Face and Wairi appeared, what happens that makes Burna Boy as big as he is and Kenyan music as small as it is? What happens is, bila umoja, without unity,
come on,
unison, yes,
you will perish and die. Number one. Number two, the person with no culture is like the shadow of the moon, useless. Taka. I explain to you why. Because if I'm gonna go to the United States of America with my accent, I'm from Kenya, and do all this hip-hop nonsense in English, they're gonna look at me and say, but yo, bro, we have that here already.
Come on.
So you're not going to fill Madison Square with that. You're going to be okay. You might make $10,000 or 15 or maybe 5. You might blow it all on strippers. But Burna's going to blow $15,000 on drinks in the club and still remain with $1 million because he's filled Madison Square. Why?
The O2 Arena.
He's not the shadow of the moon, bro. He's the sun. He's the African giant because he kept his roots. We've lost our roots, bro.
Wow.
That's what's going on. And nobody wants to talk about it.
There's so many quotes we can get from Ted today.
Baby. Hey, I will never
a person without culture is like a shadow of the moon. Useless.
I will never be the shadow of the moon.
I'm going to tell that to my child one day.
God calls us to be more than copiers, and Kenyans have become photocopiers wa photocopy tu vitu. You just photocopy things. You just photocopy things. So Nigerian music is big. So okay, sasa we basi nipatie tu Afrobeat. So there's an artist in the studio trying to copy Afrobeat. Bro, Chakacha, Benga, Ohangla, iya wakamba iya nduing hiyo gitaa.
Yes.
Mbona usichukue beat ya house
and sample
African nyatiti and throw it in and create this massive new Afro jungle groove,
the way Macadam does it.
Exactly. And create something that makes people go into a different realm, and now you bring them into your zone. That's the problem.
Listen, I've said this. I mean, honestly, we could sit with TEDD until midnight, bro.
Yeah.
But okay, so Anthony, I trust you as well. And if you're, and this is what Transformation Thursday is all about. You're a musician there, you are Musane, and you are young, and you're like, what is my game changer? Imagine that is it there.
Your game changer is in you. It's already there. The answer is in you.
The answer is in you, and what TEDD said. I remember seeing this, Kevin.
Yes.
And I was like, oh man, my brother, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. And now obviously I know the journey, but you understand it because you know what? He's that creative. Okay. So I'm like, oh man, I remember telling Madam TEDD is back. In fact, she's the one who showed me, like, look at what your brother is doing. What are we talking about? First of all, if you have do you have a man bag, my friend?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I used to come with it.
Unaongea kuhusu ile ajuala bro. Cheza chini bro. Cheza chini. Hapa tunaongea leather man.
You know what? You know when they come to put this, they're like, what? Kevin, my friend. I'm talking about proper leather. There you are. You're going for a corporate meeting. You're walking into the United Nations in Gigiri.
Yeah, like that of yours.
Yes, to see that to Under Secretary so-and-so.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those? Not this
No,
year.
no,
What?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
And then
I take it back.
I looked at this. We are talking about, and then TEDD started a journey where he's making in terms of leather bags. Okay? And this is honestly proper, genuine leather. The ones that you can pass on from generation to generation. Take us through that journey. How did that start, brother?
Well, JOSIAH luxury leather is I'd like to take all the credit, but it's not me. It's J.O. is Josiah.
Yes.
K.A. is Qatar, my late wife's surname.
Yes.
And J.O. is Josiah, my daughter.
Bas.
And K is Kenya. JOSIAH.
Yes.
Kenya.
Yes.
But also, my grandma, my late grandma, was original JOSIAH. And she would talk about history, Egypt, and the journey that the Nilotes had from Egypt coming down, and why we should retain our culture.
Listen, when he's talking about the Nilotes coming down, you answer in Jango, so it's
Okay. So Granny Herenia, she said how her journey coming down, how the journey of the Nilotes coming down from Egypt to Kenya was, and how many we are. And we don't realize how many we are. So one day I'm in a place called Nembe. If you're real Luo, you know that it means a place with many rivers, because one river is called Nam.
Nam, yes. Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Aora Nam.
Yeah.
Nembe. And I asked these guys, why do you call it Nembe? It's a place with many rivers. And one of the names was Ogola. And the other one is Otieno. And their mascot is a fish. And I'm like, these are my people, bro. These are the Nilotes that are lost. Them they went west, and us we went east. And I started thinking about how can we curate this culture, but also curate this journey of Jay, myself, and create something that is legacy based. Because bro, I've done it all. I don't need to be a celebrity, bro. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is create something that 200 years from now has Africa on the global map. I tell you why. Da Vinci, LV, and all these other international brands from the West, some of them are 100 years old. And they're billion-dollar companies.
That's true.
That owe a lot of their success to the African. Why? Because the Black American or the African American is the one who's purchasing the most. Because the one in the UK, the black guy, is the one who's purchasing the most. The one in Africa is the one who's purchasing the most. The most moe in the world is sold, guess where?
In Niger. Yeah. You didn't know that?
How bro?
Yes.
It's their most important market. It's their most important market because if that market shuts down, they lose money.
Even
a lot of money.
Even Henny, yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, wait a minute. If we, the African, and I talk about the African, not the African on the continent, the African across the globe.
Come on.
If we, the African, unite, create brands that are purchased by Africans, we will create legacy brands. And that's why I decided to make bags out of pure leather, because pure leather is timeless.
Yes.
I mean, if you have a lighter, just switch it on. Let's try and burn this bag.
Yeah.
Leather just is hard to is a non-destructive material.
I've seen you do it on TikTok.
Can you put in the middle here? Just ask it. It's where it's Nani, where we usually put, and then just turn it. Kevin,
like so.
Yes. So then in the center there comes that. There we go. Yes. So we're okay. Now just describe the bag, and obviously the people who can see it are watching. But now describe it for somebody who's just listening.
For me, first of all, I'm carrying our Camacho.
Yes.
Camacho is scorpion in Mexican and Spanish.
Sharp.
But let's come home.
Yes.
Do you know what a scorpion is called in Luo? You see, and you're Luo.
Do you know?
What is your tribe?
Merukale.
What is a scorpion called?
Where am I supposed to ask?
You're lost. So in Luo it's called Tomoni. In Masai it's called Ngulupa.
Come on.
In
Spice.
Turkana is called a kukutan.
I like that one.
So this bag that I'm carrying today, the scorpion bag, what I decided to do was give it all those African names so that Africans, when I ask that question, they can go back and ask, hey, what is scorpion called in my, so that they go back to their roots, because we are losing our culture and we're adopting somebody else's culture. And that's so dangerous, bro. It's so dangerous because once you lose your culture, you're gone.
That's true.
You're gone.
That's true.
Anything, your mindset is going to be based on the white man's mindset.
Exactly.
The colonial mindset.
Yeah.
Yet we had a mindset that we have sort of eroded. And we're embracing this nonsense,
Yes.
And all this nonsense is beginning to affect us. It shouldn't. We are the people, the original people. So Joka Jok celebrates the original people. Okay? In their splendor and glory. If you look at the beadwork on that bag, you would think it's I just went to Kariako and got somebody to do it. No, I specifically insisted that I want the beadwork to be done by a Maasai lady, so that I have the authenticity of this has been done by a Maasai lady right here. And that's how she buys her meds every single day.
Come on.
By doing that beadwork. That's how she takes her children to school, by doing that beadwork. So every single bag you buy, that there's somebody.
Exactly. Yes.
And the internal of all our bags, all the internal lining is Kikoi, because Kikoi is made in East Africa.
Exactly.
And because it's creating jobs in East Africa.
Yes.
And all the leather is Kenyan hide. So we make sure that the tanners who used to export all this leather to all these other, big brands. And trust me, there are very few people listening right now who have an original anything at home.
That's true.
And if they have an original anything, I will challenge them. It'll be original, but it ain't pure leather.
Thank you.
Because they charge a different. Like for instance, this man bag I'm carrying, and this is not. It's just it's a sling bag. It's not a man bag. It's unisex. This one that I'm carrying today, we sell for $150.
Right.
But a smaller version of this, with less detail, with less accuracy, with less craftsmanship, from the big brands, you're paying $150,000.
Yes, exactly.
In pure leather.
Let me ask you, bruv. Do you come up with the creative designs?
Yes.
All of this is TJ.
Bro, like I said, I'm a creative.
I know.
Throw me anywhere. I will challenge myself for 2-3 minutes and I'll figure it out. I do have a partner who helps a lot, because also we do a lot of ladies bags, and I'm a guy, I'm a man, mom, Musha Barabara, there's certain things like how it's going to sit on the lady, how she's going to use it, functionality and stuff like that. We have a team that also thinks through those things, because sometimes I create bags and they're very butch, you know, or they're very rugged. And then the women are like, it's nice, but can you tone down a bit, because it's a bit rough, you know. So I try to get as much just creative input from different people. And I have a business partner called Kathy, who's really highly involved in the design work, in making sure that things happen how they're supposed to happen. Because, you know, as a creative, me, I'm busy. I want to run, bro. I just want to go.
I love that. Now, you started, and you see we've kind of covered all facets. And this is one individual journey. You started Joka Jok when, brother?
Joka Jok is celebrating its 3rd year this year.
Imagine. And it's, wow. Then you started, this is an idea you came up with 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you've got a complement of how many?
Bags?
Yeah. No. In terms of your team.
Our team is over 10. We're about 12 people.
There we go.
Full time. And we're expanding.
Yeah.
Every day. And bro, we need to create jobs.
I like that.
You know, we are a bespoke company right now. Bespoke because we could not start with 100 staff. If we could start with 100 staff, I would have started with 100 staff. Why? Not because I want to have a big company, but because I want Kenyan creatives to have an opportunity to be able to feed their families.
Sharp.
We've been in the creative industry. We know how ruthless it can be. You know, now you've got, for instance, I've got a gentleman who comes from Kibera, and if he doesn't come to work and go home with some money, his daughter has a condition where she has to have medication every day. So that guy, whether he likes it or not, he has to get up, put on his clothes, even if he's had a bad morning, a bad night, his wife has somered him and anything, and he has to come to work and smile because he's got to feed his kid.
My God.
If he doesn't give her that medication, she's gone. We've had one of our staff yesterday, his wife gave birth, and via C-section.
Yeah. Well,
Gava's not going to pay for that, bro. So who has to pay for that?
Boss himself.
Yeah. So, you know, I like to make sure that those guys are taken care of. So when they have situations like that, we don't leave them in the cold. We contribute together. We changa and make sure that, you know, at least that child comes into the world happy, blessed, you know, so that they don't feel like, you know, my father's just a bag maker, but he's a very poor man. No, take pride in your craft.
I love that.
Whatever it is, bro.
I love that. Taking pride in the craft. And I'm very proud, honestly. And obviously I'm a bit biased. But I'm proud.
Thanks.
That you, TEDD JOSIAH.
Thanks.
Decided to come out, you know, and to come to the studio today on Transformational Thursday. This is making me emotional.
We're mature now. We can be emotional.
You know.
It's okay. You know?
Brother, so Kevin, you need a bag.
Yes.
So you got to ask the question.
Yeah. So if let's put it this way, if I was to bring you this, like you said, plastic Juala bag, and you customize it the way, like the way that one would look, how much would it cost and deliver?
No. Backpack. First of all, let me tell you, if you go through our catalog, you'll find that we've got sometimes better bags than what you thought you wanted.
Yes,
I've had situations like that where somebody says, "Oh, I'm looking for," and then I'm like, "Yo, first of all, let me send you what we've got," and they're like, "What the hell? Actually, that's even better than what I had."
Yeah.
So, our backpacks are shockproof. For instance, when your laptop goes in, if it falls down, your laptop is safe.
Okay.
Our backpacks are pure leather. They have the compartments already. And a lot of people are enjoying those backpacks. They're called the Urban Native backpacks. We've got briefcase bags as well. We've got ladies' tote bags. We've got ladies' travel bags. We've got travel bags in a crazy array. We've got over 75 bags.
Come on.
So I would just say, just go through the website or go through our IG page, Joka Jok Luxury Leather.
That's the one.
On Instagram, or Twitter or wherever. We'll respond immediately and make sure that you get a good bag. But remember, it's not about just you getting a good bag. It's about us Kenyans building a Kenyan brand that belongs to Africans.
I like that.
Because you could be building a brand that is in Kenya, but all the money is being shipped out of the country to a different account somewhere in Europe or India because the owners are not necessarily born in Kenya and want to build Kenya. They want to take from Kenya. And I'm really big on let us give our Africans an opportunity to thrive in Africa.
Okay, thank you for that. That'll do.
Man, share that. What the catalog, the website, Baba?
The website is jokajok.com. Really simple.
Spell it, tell them.
JOKAJOK. Jokajok.com.
Yes. And then on the socials?
On socials, it's Jokajok Luxury Leather. That's IG, yes. Jokajok Luxury Leather. Twitter, Jokajok Luxury Leather. Wherever. And if you fail, just type TEDD JOSIAH Instagram and DM me. Kama ni demu niumie vako tafadhali. Shavuka huko.
Ted, we've got 1 minute, brother.
Yeah.
Man, what a story, what a journey. And obviously, sky's the limit. We're just beginning. What, somebody's listening to, like I said, great interview. What are your parting shots for that young person who's listening to you right now? You are spoken as a father, as a mother. I mean, there's a lot there. As an entrepreneur, somebody who's basically, also, when you're talking to that Kenyan, your fellow, buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, brother, 30 seconds.
They keep on saying the word recession, to recede, to go back. Life never goes backwards. Life is always forward. So number one, anytime you hear that word recession, delete. Just use your own word. Rediscovery, reinvention, remake, redo. Okay? Let us have the mindset of builders, not breakers, because to recede is to break down. We cannot. And I'm going to speak to the African woman and man in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s and 60s. You may be at a crossroad, not at a recession. A crossroad just means that am I going to go left or right? You might be at a dead end. Break that wall down. Break it down and start something new. Life is about rediscovery, reinvention. It really, truly is. And I'm not saying this for hype. I'm not a bishop. Missy Pastor.
Thank you.
I'm just saying real life, man.
Thank you. TEDD JOSIAH. Oh, man. What a show. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. Spice FM.
Spice up your life.